We're live. We are live. Camera 1 is right there. I should be able to shut the computer. I can go live. I can also pull this up on YouTube. Leaked GTA 6 gameplay. Does that look real? That looks real. That, The speedometer doesn't look real. It doesn't look smooth enough to be real. Yeah, it looks like AI, but that's a really, really good AI. Yeah, it's okay. Yes, this is a GTA 6 gameplay leak that was it's AI generated. It looks really, really good. They're getting pretty crazy, but it just seems a little bit too clunky to be like an actual game. Let's see, I was going to pull up YouTube, and I guess I need to... that's my live home. So I'm live now. Okay. Let's turn the volume down here. So I can monitor the chat if I wanted to. And I can keep it up there. I wish I could just look at the chat, but whatever. Okay. Oh, there are adorbs. I have not live streamed in a little while. I haven't actually messed with these microphones in a minute. So I want to do this to rekindle my little obsession with it. I don't have anything I want to talk about. I guess that's not entirely true. I want to not increase the volume of my microphone. I need to adjust, not custom processing. Yeah, the gain. I'm going to increase the gain just a touch. Yeah, so that makes it a little bit easier for me to be loud. I think this is going to translate a little bit better over to the live stream. And I'm not recording this on my own hardware. I have a SSD thumb drive that's connected, but it's not recording. I'm just live streaming, and the result is the result. I was going to have my friend Bailey come over today. He couldn't make it down. And if I was going to do a real podcast, I was thinking that I would actually live stream it, but also record it, because I can do that. I think the recording is going to be a higher quality. There's definitely not going to be any lag or latency. You know, if my internet connection kind of goes down, there's going to be some clunkiness. And then I would just upload the actual raw file after the live stream was done. I think that's probably going to be the safest bet to ensure that the higher quality thing gets out there. And then if anybody wants to watch the live stream recording, it's kind of like just the ability for somebody to watch me make this in person. I'm not currently recording this. The actual recording is going to be like the master. And my wife just texted me, can I hear my daughter? Absolutely, I can. Yeah. Even through the headphones. That's great. I don't know if she's getting sassy or what, but I can hear her a little bit. All right, the next thing I was going to do was I was going to invite Denton to dinner. Do you have dinner plans? Do you want to cook up some meats and hang out over at our house? I'm going to try to be a little bit more genuine here. Instead of asking if he wants to, let's do this. Let's change it and say, I want to cook up some meats and hang out with you guys Yeah, a lot of question marks in there. Sorry, Denton. Yeah, I haven't posted anything. I can get obsessed about things pretty easily. And this was definitely something that I got obsessed with. Just wicked enthusiasm for this thing, the podcast, which at this point I'm not certain is a podcast or not. I've uploaded on my YouTube profile a podcast. There's a way to start a podcast, and then I put all the videos that I record into that playlist, and I guess that's the podcast. It doesn't seem like it is exactly what I'm looking for. It doesn't seem like it's published officially. There's also some other things involving production that I think I could do to make it seem more official. If I could have some sort of fancy overlays, you know, a little spinning graphic. Like every time you watch a JRE video, Joe Rogan Experience video, like the beginning, it's got that monkey and then it's got the spinning face. That's a graphic overlay, an animated overlay. I'm sure I could get one of those whipped up pretty easily. And then I think all I have to do is just hit a button on this device, and then I could start all of my live streams, my podcasts off with that. That's going to really, I don't think that's going to be too hard, especially with this device, but that's really going to add to the perceived production value, which is part of the hobby. The next thing I need is friends. So if you're interested in being a friend, I'd love to have somebody come over and hang out and just talk about whatever. Just talk about the bull, shoot the bull, ask you a lot of really personal questions. Maybe try to get somebody to cry. Yeah. That's how you get views, right? Let's do this for the views now. Oh, whatever. Not all the jokes land. That one wasn't even funny to me. Let's see. My grandfather sent me something in the mail the other day. Grandpa Jim in Phoenix. He sent me this looks like a photocopy of AARP, the magazine, page 32. It's an article about, do you want to be a so you want to be a podcaster. Dick Grove, 81, the former CEO of Kansas City public relations firm, was looking for a new challenge in retirement. He'd come across people over 70 doing amazing things. An 82-year-old former rock and roller who got back on stage. That's pretty cool. A 76-year-old who wrote a book about his scuba diving adventures. All right, that's cool too. So that gave Grove an idea. He thought about a podcast about people in their 70s and 80s doing incredibly cool stuff. He said he thought that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun. I do think that would be fun. I think that there's so many interesting stories in almost everyone you meet. Somebody's got something interesting to say. You just got to dig it out and not be too much of a prick when you try to do it. What's up, bub?
I was just yawning.
Oh, okay.
And I changed it. If I was gonna watch, probably Seven Storm, but I was gonna keep watching this.
That's okay. Griff's Garage is all right. Okay. A recent study by Statista.com, found that there are more than 3.5 million podcasts. Oh my gosh, but there's always room for one more, like yours, like mine. All right, Rob Walk, 59, host of a podcast called Podcast 411, advises newcomers to listen to what already exists in your topic area and decide what could work. It's highly recommended you check out a few other podcasts to get yourself inspired before starting your own show. He says he offers these steps to get started. There is a list of 7 steps. All right, and one of these I'm actually kind of curious about. Number 7 is involves an RSS feed, and I've seen that on YouTube, so I think that might be something I need to do. All right, solo shows are the most work, but you get full control. That's what I'm doing, a solo show. Interview formats are fun. You get to meet new people, but you have to book interviews and record them. Running into that right now. Yeah, had a buddy who tried to come down today, couldn't make it, and here we are. You can use services like Riverside, tried it. StreamYard, never heard of it. Or Zoom for that recording. I've seen that before. I don't like that format. Just for what I'm trying to create, I think a Zoom phone call is... It makes you feel... When I'm watching a Zoom phone call between two people on YouTube, unless the information is imperative, like I really need to know what these people are talking about, I'm not interested in it. If in this podcast is more just hanging out, and I think creating the feeling of presence is important, and Zoom is obviously like it's a dead giveaway that there's no presence. Anyway, let's move forward. Pick a title. Be precise about what the show will cover. Make it sound like something you'd want to listen to yourself. Old People Rock is a good example. Some others, Aging Well podcast, Women Over 70, Aging Reimagined. Those are some examples of names. Mine has been Facing Imposter Syndrome with Jack Rathbun. I even mispronounced my own name. My title stems from my own interest. So that's pretty cool because he says, make it sound like something you'd want to listen to. If I saw Facing Imposter Syndrome, I would immediately look. Just me personally, because I identify with imposter syndrome. I talk about it a lot. The entire concept of this podcast is like rooted in this belief that I shouldn't be doing it, or I don't deserve to do it, or I'm not the guy for this. It feels so bizarre. Like I'm looking into a camera right now. It's bizarre. It's a strange feeling to do what I'm doing because there's a big part of me that's rejecting it as I'm doing it because of, I don't know if it's fear, anxiety, if it's caring about what other people think. You know, being afraid somebody's going to judge me, being afraid that my character is going to be out there, right? Out there for criticism, which is something that I tend to shy away from a lot. So doing this live is kind of it was kind of a hard thing for me to do. It might be tough for a lot of people to do. Being an extrovert, I don't know. So Facing Imposter Syndrome, in terms of algorithm attraction, is it going to get views? Is it going to get traction within the YouTube environment? I don't know. But the project it's a project. You know, that there might be some room for moving around the name. The more I do it, the more I practice with it, the more I screw around with all this stuff, I think the more I'm going to find the groove that a name is going to fall into. At this point right now, it's a project, and I slapped a name on it. Everything's temporary. There's room for negotiation on that. The project is the same regardless of what it's called. Number 3, get basic gear. You need a microphone. Mini mics can connect directly to your computer, tablet, or smartphone. They range from $75 to $150. New podcasters often use the Samson Q2U, Blue Yeti, or the Rode NT USB mini mic, which typically costs around $100. You need a program to record into, and edit your files. GarageBand on Macs, Audacity on PCs or Macs. Those are a couple common apps. Yeah, I went ahead and got started with really basic gear, and I realized that it takes a lot of messing around. My problem is that the production of this was also a hobby. I didn't realize that when I was getting into it. Being able to make something that looks cool, being able to switch cameras like this at the push of a button, being able to have 2 video feeds, 2 audio tracks automatically synced up, minimal editing required, having automatic switching, all that stuff is... I just got an idea. I'm going to turn combo 2 down. I'm sorry, I just got distracted super hard right there. That was tough to get the production level that I wanted for entry-level prices. The microphones, I agree. The microphones don't have to cost a ton of money. This was an $89 microphone. The USB version's a little bit more expensive. The initial setup I had, I got 2 mics and the Vocaster 2 interface, connected those into my PC. I mean, that entire thing, it was a Mac, actually. That was very inexpensive to get a 2-person podcast going. But I wanted to make something a little bit more fun. So I wanted to play around with these tools. I ended up getting some more expensive stuff. And I'm blessed to be able to have been able to do this. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that and try to just have fun with it. This is number 4. Create artwork for your show. For inspiration, search in podcast apps. Apple Podcasts has the most downloads. Clear images and big print causing the eye to linger are key. So I had AI generate a thumbnail photo for my podcast. The print is not big. The concept art is kind of neat. It's a 2-faced, like, supposed to be, I guess, me is what AI thought I looked like. The guy in the photo is way more jacked than I've ever been. But then the other face is supposed to represent the imposter. It's kind of a skeleton stripped away, and that imposter's face is crying. It's sad. On the outside, it's calm. It's collected. It's a CRNA. It's somebody who's doing anesthesia. On the inside, it's somebody who's like, who am I? You know. I think that's a cool picture, but I think this is interesting as well. They said that clear image, big print. You want the eye to linger on it. That's not really what my picture is. So yeah, that's good advice, I think. Number 5, create a trailer episode. Okay. Before you submit your podcast, you must have at least 1 file that is live. This is required by Apple, Spotify, and all services that list a podcast. Start with a simple 2 or 3 minute trailer of what the show is about. I have not officially done that, I don't think. And YouTube, I don't think required... YouTube didn't require that of me. Hang on a second. Henry? Griff's Garage only, okay?
I was just slowing down one.
Yeah, that's okay. You can look at those, but Griff's Garage only, all right?
And only Evan Storm and Mace Mason.
Evan Storm and Mace, those are okay. But don't get sidetracked by all these YouTube videos here, okay? It's a...
That one looks like bathrooms like that.
Backrooms infection with 2 exotic cars. Yeah, that looks interesting, but I don't want to dig into that. YouTube can be very overstimulating. Henry's on the couch watching some YouTube. He's got his new headphones. He got a set of wired headphones, and he is listening to his YouTube through the headphones. But I'm trying to limit him to only a couple of familiar channels. I want only a couple of familiar channels because you can get into this crazy content that is just, it's unpredictable. I hate to use the word brain rot, but brain rot is just kind of mush. Probably what I'm creating now. All right, the trailer episode, I haven't done that. But I haven't been asked to do that. So I might, which number 6 kind of leads into why I haven't done that. It says pick a podcast hosting company. You need a place to upload your files, such as Captivate, Blueberry, Buzzsprout, Podbean, or Spotify for podcasters. Price ranges from free to $50 a month. You likely won't get any customer support with the free option. So I don't know that I have a podcast hosting company. I just simply clicked a button on YouTube. There's a button that says create a podcast. And I put all my videos in a playlist that are marked the podcast. It wasn't particularly easy. I had to verify my identity to do that. I had to create a creator account. I had to go through a couple of hoops in order to create the podcast. But I haven't actually seen if it's available on YouTube Music or anything like that. Okay, now here is this one I'm interested in. Number 7, distribute your RSS feed. An RSS feed is the list of episodes. It lets all the apps know where the episodes are located and is used by Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, and other places people listen to podcasts. When you publish a new episode, that RSS feed updates everywhere at the same time. All right. Okay, that's good. Good to know. Here's a note from my grandpa. Work product from my consulting contract. Huh. All right. Yeah, well, send me the bill. At the bottom of this article is some health-conscious hiking advice. I'm not going to get into that. But that's interesting. In AARP magazine, there's, 3.5 million podcasts, which kind of brings me into, why I'm doing this podcast, what it's about. This podcast is mostly, it's just a documentation. It's a documentation of me, something that exists, something that my kids can see. Not everybody in the world cares about me. I'm not going to be that interesting to a really wide variety of people. But hopefully in my life that will be interested in who my friends were. Maybe those people I haven't met yet. I don't know. Hanging out. How cool would that be? You know what I mean? I'm sure that you've got, when you were in your 30s, there was probably a close group of buddies that you had, and you guys sat around. I don't know if you were drinking beers or having barbecues or what. I don't know that about you. How cool would that be for me? Well, I'm asking the question. I'm telling you, that would be super cool if I would be able to see that. Dang, that's what Grandpa was like. I want to hear him complain about how much, my mom was not sleeping as a baby. You know what I mean? Shared experiences. There'll be a day when my son has kids and he's going to complain about all the same stuff that I complain about. And it'll be cool to see the generations of that. There's a lot of things that are the same. I think we all turn into our parents to a certain degree. And maybe you can see some insights. Maybe you could learn a thing. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to teach my son in the future. Right? There's stuff that he doesn't understand now. There's thoughts and feelings that I have now that I'm not going to have when I'm older. So I record them. I record them down now. They're permanent. They can be gone back and looked at. I don't have to think about it. Thoughts and feelings, desires change. Right now, I want to go to the store and buy a brand new F-150 Raptor R. financially, doesn't really make a lot of sense to do that. But maybe one day, whenever I have enough money to blow and do that, which hopefully I continue to do what I'm doing, and hopefully I do reach that point one day. But, you know, I mean, how many times have you heard that story? Like, yeah, I wanted to do this whenever I was younger, and now that I have the money or I have the ability to, I realize that I just didn't really want to. That's fine. That's fine. But the enthusiasm is like lost into the ether. At one point, you were that enthusiastic person. You were that person who wasn't enthusiastic about buying that thing or going to that place or joining this team or whatever. That enthusiasm is valuable to somebody. Now, I'm not saying I want to record every moment of my life. Not all that exciting. But this podcast, whenever I do eventually get some friends, it's just kind of a gateway to do that. And you know what? Maybe this project fizzles out. Sounds good. Denton responded to me 12 minutes ago and said he does not have plans that he knows of. I'm going to respond in all caps to let him know how excited I am. Let's do this. What time? What time should we have dinner with Denton and Haley? 5?
But you can come over anytime.
Want to come over 4:30 or 5?
Oh, here's Cece.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah. So we need to finish some birth certificate stuff. So Henry can go to school. Got some Evan Storm going still. All right. Well, what else might I don't know. I don't know what else I need to talk about. You know, this might be it. This might all be all I need to say. Oh, okay. This is what I was saying. Oh my goodness. I might need to pick her up. I'm coming, baby girl. I'm coming. Hi. What is the fuss?
Put it up here.
What is the fuss? No, I can't put her up there. That's crazy. That's crazy. How about right here? And you get a little clip-o. Yeah, baby. I'm not sure how well this is going to go. Hi, sweet girl. Yeah, so, oh, there it is. Hi. My daughter has just recently been accepting being put down on the ground and playing, like self-play. And there are times when she kind of goes back to her old ways. She likes to be held a lot. She deserves to be held. As I was saying about the project, you know, this may fizzle out. The podcast might fizzle out, but it's an experience. I'm learning something. This is kind of a skill in a way. I might find a use for this. There might be a use for all this stuff beyond my initial project. I don't know. The Lord works in funny ways. I think he puts obsessions in my mind, and eventually they're useful at some point. So this might just be another thing that I get traction with and I'm passionate about, and then I eventually just forget about it. But then one day down the line, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, I do happen to know a lot about whatever it is that I need to be involved in. Let's see. I think that's probably going to be it at the moment. I don't have a whole lot else to say. Hopefully Denton is coming over for dinner. I would like to see, I'm going to probably reach out to Joseph Capusetti and see if he can come on. That guy can talk. Bailey and I can talk about a lot. Yeah. If you watched, thank you for watching. If you are me and I'm watching this later, what's up? Everything's going to be all right. Okay, everybody. I'm coming, baby. Ah.